There's a particular kind of heaviness that doesn't come from one thing. It's not a single bad piece of news or one hard conversation. It's more like an accumulation, a slow gathering of everything you've been carrying quietly, everything you pushed through last week and the week before that, and somewhere along the way it all settled into your chest, and now you wake up with it before you even remember what it is. That's where I am this morning, and I think maybe that's where you are too. God, I want to talk to you about this feeling, not the polished version of it, the real version. The one where I woke up and the first emotion I felt wasn't gratitude or peace or any of the things I know I'm supposed to feel. It was just weight. This quiet, shapeless weight that doesn't have a clean name. Not quite sad, not quite dreadful. Something in between that sits on your sternum and makes everything feel like it requires more effort than it should. I've been trying to trace it back to something specific, and I can't always find it, which almost makes it harder, because at least if I could point to the source, I'd know what I was dealing with. But this kind of heavy is different. It's cumulative. It's the result of too many things held for too long, with nowhere to put them, and eventually, the body and the heart just start saying quietly, without drama, that they're running low. I want to be honest about that with you, not just skim past it to get to the hopeful part. Because I've noticed that when I'm heavy like this, my instinct is to push through. Get up, get moving, stay busy, make the heaviness earn its place by interrupting my productivity enough that I have an excuse to acknowledge it. But I'm not sure pushing through is always the right answer. Sometimes I think the weight is asking me to stop, not to fix anything, just to stop and let it be real for a minute, in your presence, where it doesn't have to be explained or justified or resolved right now. So that's what I'm doing. I'm stopping. There are things I've been waiting on that still haven't moved, and the waiting is starting to cost me something. Not just patience, something deeper. That quiet confidence that things will eventually work out. Some days I have it and some days I don't. And lately the days I don't have it are outnumbering the ones I do. I won't dress that up. I won't pretend it's not true. It's true, and I think you already see it, and I'd rather just say it plainly than dance around it. There are people in my life I've been worried about, and I don't know how to help them in the ways they actually need. There's a helplessness in that, loving someone and not being able to fix what's hurting them. Watching someone go through something hard and knowing your presence, as real as it is, isn't the same as a solution. That's its own kind of grief that doesn't always get named. I've been carrying that too. And honestly, there are things about myself I've been disappointed by lately. Ways I've fallen short of who I want to be. Moments I handled poorly and can't undo. Patterns I said I would change that I haven't fully changed. I'm not spiraling about it. I'm just naming it because it's part of what's in me this morning. This quiet undercurrent of I keep trying and I keep falling a little short. And I don't always know what to do with that. I know that's not the end of the story. I know grace is real, and I know I'm not meant to carry that weight of self-judgment indefinitely. But some mornings, the knowing and the feeling aren't in the same place, and this is one of those mornings. What I need from you right now is not a solution. I don't need a vision or a revelation or a clear picture of how everything resolves. What I need is just to feel that you are near, that this heaviness isn't a sign that you've stepped back, that you're not waiting for me to get it together before you show up, that you're already here, in this, with me, in the middle of the weight, rather than on the other side of it. There's a verse that keeps coming back to me, the one that talks about God being close to the brokenhearted. I used to read that and picture it as comfort for people in catastrophic circumstances, people in real crisis. But lately, I've been thinking it also means this ordinary, unspectacular, hard to explain heaviness that millions of people wake up with on a regular Tuesday and don't talk about because it doesn't seem dramatic enough to mention. I think close to the brokenhearted means this too. This quiet ache, this unnamed weight, this waking up and just needing things to be a little lighter than they are. I'm asking for that. A little lighter. Not everything resolved, not all questions answered. Just a small easing of the pressure. Enough that I can take a full breath. Enough that I can be present today instead of just getting through it. Enough that when someone needs something from me, I have something to give them, and I'm asking for something to hold on to today. Not a grand declaration or a miraculous shift. Just a moment, somewhere in the middle of today, that reminds me you're working even when I can't see it. A conversation that goes better than I expected. A thought that settles me down when I start to spiral. A small kindness I didn't plan for. Something that feels even gently like a sign that I'm not invisible to you in this season. I want to be the kind of person who trusts you when it's hard. Not when things are going well and trust is easy, but when the evidence feels thin, the weight feels heavy, and the waiting stretches longer than I thought I could bear. I want that kind of trust, not because it's impressive or spiritual, but because I think it's the only kind that actually holds. The fair weather kind breaks. The kind that survives hard mornings might actually be real, so I'm choosing right now, imperfectly and without fully feeling it yet, to believe that this season is not the whole story, that what I'm carrying today isn't permanent, that you have not forgotten the things I've asked for, the things I've cried about, the quiet prayers I've said in the dark when no one was watching. I'm choosing to believe that even when I have nothing to show for it yet. And I want to say something to the person who might be in this with me right now, the one who woke up the same way, who is reading or listening and thinking, yes, that's exactly it. I just didn't have words for it. You're not weak for waking up heavy. You're not broken for not being okay. You're not behind on some spiritual schedule because you haven't prayed it all the way yet. Some seasons are just hard, and being honest about that is not the same as giving up. It might actually be the bravest thing, choosing not to pretend, choosing to bring the real thing into the light instead of keeping it folded up inside where it just gets heavier. You don't have to figure out why it feels the way it feels. You don't have to fix it before the day starts. You don't have to arrive at peace before you're allowed to be held. You can come as you are, weighted as you are, confused as you are, and still be completely received. If there's something specific you've been carrying, something you haven't said out loud to anyone because you weren't sure it was significant enough, or because you didn't want to burden someone, or because you didn't quite have the words, I hope this morning you let yourself feel that you can bring it. All of it. Even the parts that don't make perfect sense. You're not alone in this. Not today, and not in the ones that came before it.